You know, Sadiq Khan truly is one of the most deplorable mayors in the world, according, of course, to the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. And you might think that he's been rather unkind, and you think, well, goodness, you know. But then when you look around England, the United Kingdom, you look and think, well, what exactly are we now celebrating? If you come to London right now and you go up and down, say, Regent Street, Oxford Street, all of those wonderful areas that are known throughout the world as being one of the big shopping emporiums, it looks like a third world dump, right? You know, there's vaping shops, fake sweet shops, everything is a mess. If I was one of the retailers on there, I would be demanding a huge cut in my council tax, simply because you're not really attracting the level of customer that you were. Worse than that, the Christmas lights are strung up like, as I say, a sort of bad display at British home stores back in the 70s. Horrendous. Not one mention of the word Christmas. But as I also pointed out, when it comes to the Ramadan lights, oh yes, he's very keen to make sure, of course, that he's seen there turning them on, because it's all about inclusivity and diversity. But it doesn't just end with the bad management of London with Sadiq Khan. It's now infiltrated into many British brands. And more importantly, you may not have noticed this, but when I tell you, you will think very differently about whether you want to support them or not. As ever, let me explain. Morning, nice to see you, chums. Thank you so much for your time today. It's all about getting ready for Christmas, isn't it? And you would be forgiven for thinking, is Christmas is actually happening over here in the United Kingdom? There are wonderful places that still do wonderful displays, and I just adore all the things connected with, of course, the true meaning of Christmas. As I've said, I'm a great believer in the Christmas Carol Charles Dickens thing of, you know, really, people started to celebrate Christmas a couple of days before, didn't they? Most people, and many who work in those demanding services, you know, work on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, it is about 2 or 3 days. Suddenly it's become like a 2-month, 3-month thing. Shouldn't be like that. However, when you go out shopping, you will be forgiven for thinking totally differently. I pointed out on a recent video that when you go to Tesco's now, they're not Christmas mince pies anymore. The festive mince pies, right? Absolutely. And if you shop at Marks and Spencer's, despite this deplorable alleged comedian Dawn French being less than kind about certain individuals across social media, they don't care about you as a customer. They've carried to book her again at great expense, seemingly because, you know, the customer doesn't matter anymore. No, they're not bothered. Back to Tesco. They clearly don't like Christians and Christmas, because they rebranded their Christmas trees. You know, they've just basically called them, you know, like holiday pines, festive pines. Why? They're Christmas trees. Everybody knows they're Christmas trees. It gets even worse. As I said, it's really down to the customer. And Tesco, Marks and Spencer, they don't care as long as they don't get involved in any sort of battle. But they're now enticing a battle, seemingly because they're wiping out exactly what the British consumer would like to see. And you've got a young kid, they might just see it as holiday. Oh, it's just holiday time, is it? No, it's Christmas. And the same with your mince pies. No, they're not festive pies, they're Christmas mince pies. What's so wrong with using that word? But as we saw last year with Boots, they had a total backlash upon that particular ad. And yet they didn't really learn their lesson, because they very much refused to say sorry. And they've seen, of course, people less going in their stores. The only way they can win is if they reduce the prices. When they reduce the prices, people start to lose their jobs because they close more and more stores down, as we've seen with Boots. So when you're out and about and you think, oh, this is really sad, remember, there's a bigger story behind it. And do not forget that these big brands don't care about you, or indeed what Christmas is truly all about. Neil Shawn, Kensington, London.